Hey everybody, we're going to talk about one truth that you need to know to overcome adversity, no matter how bad things get. My name is David, and I'm a Bible teacher and the founding pastor of Restoration Church in Frankfurt. And we just want to spend a few moments and talk a little bit about the Bible here in the middle of the week. So if you get a chance, if you're watching this, either live or on the rebroadcast, take a minute right now and comment down below. Let me know where you're watching it from. It'll be exciting to see where everybody sees this and how far it goes. We're going to talk a little bit about this one thing because I think it's a powerful thing that we need to know as we work through some of the toughest stuff in life. And so if you take a minute and share this with somebody that may need to hear an encouraging word, and we're going to dig right in. We're going to look at Revelation chapter 21. And in this passage, what we see is we see the new city, the new Jerusalem coming down, and God dwells with man, and it's a permanent thing. God is with us, and He dwells with us. And we get this glimpse of what the future is going to be like. Now, I don't know what you're going through right now. I don't know how hard things are or what struggles you might be experiencing, whether with health or with finances or with relationships. There could be a million different things that you're struggling with. But sometimes life gets really, really hard. And how do we get through some of the toughest stuff that life throws at us? And I think we find a piece of encouragement in this verse. And we're going to talk about a couple things, kind of unpack this a little bit, and talk a little bit about how this helps us work through some of these tough situations. We're going to look in Revelation 21. It's verse 4. And once again, the new cities come down, and He makes a statement that God is going to dwell with His people. And He says this in verse 4. And He will wipe away every tear from their eyes, and there will no longer be any death. There will no longer be any mourning or crying or pain. The first things have passed away. Now, you may be going through some really tough things in life, but here's the one truth that we need to grab a hold of. And here's the truth is that pain by nature is temporary. There's going to be a day where there is no more pain, no more sorrow, no crying. All of those things will be put away forever. So whatever you're going through, whatever struggle, whatever period of life that you're going through, the dry season, if there's been some break in some relationships or whatever you're working through right now, the encouragement is that's temporary. And here's the exciting part is even if it spans the entirety of your lifespan, if you wrestle with something like a health problem or something and it consumes the entirety of your life, that still is temporary. We're created, we're eternal beings, and so we're going to live far beyond this life. And a majority of who you are, a majority of your experience is going to be on the other side of this life. So this is just a little vapor, a little brief moment in time, and it's a very important moment in time. But we give a lot of encouragement because this is going to be just a portion of who God has created us to be. So as we grab a hold of this truth that pain is temporary, there's going to be a day where all this is wiped away. I want to give you three things that this will do for us right now in the here and now to help us get through some of this tough stuff. First of all, this statement provides us a little bit of power. Not that the statement itself is powerful, but here's what's really powerful in this, is that as we look through the idea that pain is temporary, that this can only last for so long, that whatever you're going through will end at some point, and you will see freedom and grace and mercy. If we look at that, the power is that your circumstance can't overcome you. Your circumstance, no matter how bad it is, has been filtered through the plan of God for your life. And so if we follow Christ, if we become part of His family and we surrender our will to His will, there is no circumstance that can overcome you. There's nothing that can hold you down. There's power in the statement that no matter how big the trouble gets, it is never going to be bigger than our God. And so that's a powerful thing. The second thing we look at is this statement that pain is temporary and all this will end at some point gives us perspective. So often we can think about life and we can think about everything within our own sphere of influence, and we try to wrap everything up in just what we can see and what we can hear, and everything that we experience and how it pertains to us and how it works within our context. So this gives us a little bit of perspective that life is bigger than us, that there's more to what's going on in this world than just my little sphere of influence. God has a divine plan in motion. And because of His grace, because of His mercy, He allows us to be a part of that plan. And He's got a plan specifically for you. And so this gives us a little bit of perspective that there's an eternal plan going on, that there's something bigger and broader than our small little experience. If it was just us, then every little thing, every little ups and downs would be so turbulent and overwhelming. But realizing that God has a bigger picture, a bigger plan, and the things that we're doing now, if we follow Christ with our life, if we proclaim the gospel, and we do all the things that God called us to do, the things we're going to do now will really matter in the scope of eternity. God's got a bigger plan, and His plan is much broader than what we can see. The third thing, it's a powerful statement. It gives us a lot of perspective. But the third thing is it gives us some perseverance. As we look at the idea that pain is temporary, and we see that this is just a small piece of our existence in the scope of eternity, we can persevere through anything because God's grace is sufficient for us. So as we start to move through the tougher things in life, as we start to overcome and see God working in our life, we can persevere through the tough things knowing that pain is always temporary. That there's going to be a day, Revelation 21:4, where God's going to wipe away the tears. There's going to be a day, there's going to be a time and place where fear stops, where pain stops. There's no more sorrow, no more death. All of that is going to be put away. And so our small things that we deal with now, they can seem so big to us. And some things are really tough. We go through some of the most adverse things in life. But in the scope of eternity, in the scope of God's perfect plan for us, we can persevere through those things because of what the Bible calls the glory set before us. There's hope and there's encouragement because pain can never outlast this existence. There's going to be a day where we will see the end of those things. So no matter how long you have to struggle, no matter how hard and adverse things get, there's always hope because Jesus has conquered the grave. Death will be final. All of the tears will be wiped away. There's going to be no more mourning, no more sorrow. That day is coming. So no matter what you're going through right now, I just want to encourage you that there's power in this. There's perspective in this. There's the opportunity for perseverance. Keep chasing after God's best for your life. It is so worth everything that you can put into it. I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with me for a little bit. If you're watching this live or watching on the rebroadcast, that'll be awesome. Just remember to leave a comment down below and tell me where you're watching it from. I'm going to go through all these over the next couple days and just see where everybody's at. And I'll be praying for you no matter what circumstance you're going through. God has a plan and a purpose for it. So we'll be in prayer for you as I hope you're in prayer for us. And we'll see you guys next time.